Welcome to Capital Connections. Joining me today is New Hampshire Representative Neal Kurk. Neal, thanks so much for being here.
It's a pleasure, John.
You know, about every year in January, I get you on the show to talk about your crystal ball for what are the big issues that we're going to look at in this upcoming legislative session. And the last couple of years, we've had Democratic governors and Republican in the House and Senate. We have all three branches are in the Republicans' hands. Is that a good thing for the Republican Party or a bad thing?
It's a good thing for the Republican Party, and I think it's a good thing for the state. But one of the disadvantages of having all three branches under the same control is that policies tend to go more in one direction than perhaps many people will like. And the policy pendulum is always swinging. Most people like it to swing a little bit toward the center. To the extent you have three branches under one party's control, it swings a little bit more in one direction, and there may be consequences of that in 2018 when we hold our elections again. That being said, Republicans have some agenda items that they campaigned on and will implement. For example, the governor and both legislative bodies are interested in the right to work bill.
Will that pass the House? Everybody says that, you know, it's got the Senate, it's got the governor.
It passed the Senate. The governor will sign it. I don't know, obviously. But the governor and House leadership will be working hard to persuade those Republicans who have questions that it would be desirable to have them vote for this.
Is that good policy?
Yes.
Why?
There are people who think that if we have this in place, it will attract businesses to the state. I'm not sure about that. I haven't seen the numbers. I don't know that. People look at what's happened in other states. Slightly more than half the states in the nation are right-to-work states. None in New England. New Hampshire, if it passes, would be the first one. And in most of those states, positive things have happened after right-to-work is passed. But what nobody has been able to do is to establish
causality.
A causality. Yeah. There's a correlation there, but not causality. So I don't think folks really can say with certainty. However, there are businesses that do feel strongly that the freedom they have from a less powerful union presence is desirable. And what Right to Work does, from my point of view, it's really important. It gives a union member, or an employee who may or may not join the union, the choice, without feeling a financial penalty, of saying no. And the unions say, well, wait, we're negotiating for him, we're providing lawyers for him.
Right, but it's a free rider impact.
Yeah, he's a free rider, and they find that unattractive. The problem is that the unions are not representing all of their members. They can only represent some of their members because, for example, when it comes to pensions versus salaries, perhaps younger members versus older members have different views as to what's important. But there can be only one contract for all the members. And so the union negotiators are not necessarily negotiating in what each individual member perceives as his interest. So there are many, or some members, who would say, I don't want to participate in this. I don't want to contribute to a negotiation that's really not in my benefit. From my point of view, the freedom to be able to say, no, I don't wish to be represented by you, I don't share in the values that you're going to achieve for me through your negotiation, I think is an important individual right, and I hope New Hampshire will pass Right to Work for that reason, for the individual person who has a choice.
So it's not an economic decision from your perspective, it's a core philosophical.
Yes. I don't know for a fact that we will have an economic bump up.
Is there something to be said for that economic argument?
You can show the correlation,
but not the causality.
But not the causation.
Would the fact that we're the only state in this region that is different from the others, is that appealing?
It's appealing to me because it's in keeping with traditional New Hampshire values of independence and self-reliance. I like that. I think that's part of our culture. I don't know whether, in fact, that will cause companies who otherwise would go elsewhere to come and locate in New Hampshire or expand here.
Are those even the issues that businesses are looking at? What about
some businesses are, John,
some businesses
but
are.
some not. Many businesses are more concerned about the number of trained employees, about the cost of electricity.
So.
Those are big issues for many businesses.
All right, well, we're out of time in this segment, but when we return, we're going to continue our conversation and focusing on a number of other big issues that the legislature will have to deal with. So please stay with us.